DPS TeleClass.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to the maths class again. How are you my students? I hope you all are good. Are you ready for today's lesson? Before we begin the lesson, let's recite the dua.
قال رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي.
So today in maths class, I am going to share you a new topic. Are you excited to learn? Okay, then let's start. Can anyone guess what we are going to learn today? Okay, let me tell you. Ratio and proportion. First of all, I'm going to share you the learning intention. Today's learning intention is today we are going to learn about ratio and proportion. And the success criteria for today's lesson is you will be successful if you can relate two quantities using ratios and determine which of the pairs of ratios form a proportion and write ratios in simplest form. What is ratio? Anyone have any idea about what is ratio? Have you heard this word before? Okay, ratio is a fraction of two quantities of the same kind and in the same units that shows how the two quantities are related. It is a comparison between two quantities. Kids, what can you see from this slide? Can you see beautiful flowers and butterflies here? And now can you count how many flowers and butterflies are there? I will give you few seconds for this. Have you counted everyone? Yes, there are 3 flowers and 5 butterflies here. So the ratio of flowers to butterflies are 3:5. Students, remember that when we write the ratio, the order of the terms in a ratio is very important. So here the ratio of flowers to butterflies. So first we have to write 3 and after that 5. So the ratio is 3:5. There are 3 ways to write a ratio. One way is 3:5. For this we call 3:5. And for the second one, 3/5. What we call for this? 3 by 5. And the last one, 3 to 5. Again say 3 to 5. So these are the three ways that we can write ratios. Now let's practice some examples. We are going to relate two quantities of ratio here. What is the ratio of tomatoes to onions? Count the tomatoes and onions. There are 4 tomatoes and 3 onions here. So the ratio of tomatoes to onion is 4:3. Example 2. What is the ratio of cups to glass? How many cups and how many glasses are there? We'll give you few minutes. Let's count. Done, all of you? Okay, the ratio of cups to glass is 2:8 or 2 to 8. Example 3. What is the ratio of shirts to t-shirts? Here you have to write the ratio of shirts to t-shirts. Now count the number of shirts and t-shirts. Yes, the ratio of shirts to t-shirt is 4:5. Here is your fourth example. What is the ratio of binoculars to mobile phones? Now count the number of mobile phones and binoculars given here. Okay, the ratio of binoculars to mobile phone is 3:2. Example 5. To prepare 3 cups of tea, 3 cups of water and 1 cup of milk is required. So, if we are going to prepare 3 cups of tea, we will need 3 cups of water and 1 cup of milk. So, water to milk, the ratio is 3:1. But if we are writing milk to water, the ratio is 1:3. But remember that the order is very important. Here it is given 3 cups of water and 1 cup of milk. So the order must be water to milk. So the correct way is 3:1. Now we are going to learn proportion. What is proportion? A proportion is a name we give to a statement that two ratios are equal. If two ratios are equal, we say it is proportion. Proportion can be written as, can you see the equation given here? How will you read this? A by B is equal to C by D. Also, it can be read as A is to B is equal to C is to D. And remember that equal ratios leads to proportion. Now let's try an example. So to prepare 6 cups of tea, 6 cups of water and 2 cups of milk is required. In the previous example, in example 5, to prepare 3 cups of tea, 3 cups of water and 1 cup of milk was required. So the ratio is 3:1. But here water to milk, the ratio is 6:2. So we will write this 3/1 is equal to 6/2. How we will know this 3/1 is equal to 6/2? Here 3/1 is half of 6/2. Right, students? And another way is, if we multiply 1 into 2, we will get 2. So we have to multiply the same number to numerator. So 3 into 2 is equal to 6. So the answer is correct. So 3/1 is equal to 6/2. So this is called proportion. Let's try some other examples. Determine which of the following pairs of ratios form a proportion. Here, 3 pairs of ratios are given. You are going to find out which pairs of ratios form a proportion. For this, I will give you 1 minute. Find out which pairs of ratios form proportion. Do you remember what is proportion? Yes, proportion means if two ratios are equal, it forms a proportion. Now find out which pairs are forming proportion. Okay, are you done, students? Have you got which pairs of ratios are forming proportion here? Yes, let's try example 1. 1/5 is equal to 4/20. What do you think? Is these two ratios are equal? Yes, 1/5 is equal to 4/20. So this example forms a proportion. Now let's try example B. 2/8 is equal to 10/40. To check this, let's see, 2 into 5 are 10. So when we multiply 8 into 5, we will get 40. So this is also forming a proportion. And let's try the last one. Example C. 10 by 1000 is equal to 200 by 2000. What do you think? Is this pair is forming proportion or not? Yes, this one is incorrect because 10 by 20 will be 200, but 1000 into 20 will not be 2000. It will be 20,000. So this answer is incorrect. So what are the correct pairs here? The pair A and B. Now we are going to learn simplifying ratio. To simplify fractions, think of the biggest number by which the numerator and denominator can be divided. Let's try an example. Example 1. Reduce 150 by 400 to its lowest term. Now we are going to reduce this ratio 150 is to 400 to its lowest term. So to reduce it, we have to think about the biggest number. So 150 divided by 50 is equal to 3, and 400 by 50 is equal to 8. So here the lowest term is 3 by 8. We cannot reduce this again. Let's try another example. Example 2. A certain type of cloth A is available for Maldivian rupiah 30 per meter, and another type of cloth B is available for Maldivian rupiah 52 per meter. What is the ratio of the costs of type A to type B cloth? Remember the order: type A cloth to type B cloth. Write the ratio in the lowest form. So here the cost of type A cloth is equal to 30 rupiah, and cost of type B cloth is equal to 52 rupiah. So we are going to divide this 30 by 52. So 30 divided by 2 and 52 also will be divided by 2. It's equal to 15 by 26. And this is the lowest term. We cannot reduce this again. And now it's your activity time. Open your 6A textbook and do page 127. Exercise in 7.1, question number 1 and Question number 2. Let's recall success criteria again. So today you will be successful if you can relate two quantities using ratio, and if you are able to determine which of the pairs of ratio form a proportion, and write ratios in a simple form or in lowest term. And that's all for today's lesson. I hope you all enjoyed today's lesson. Have a good day. Be safe. Bye bye.
DPS TeleClass